When I was about 14, entering 9th grade, I ended up moving in with this wonderful family called the Papples. They became my legal guardians, essentially became my new mom, dad, and brothers. And this is the house that I spent most of my high school living in. Benji, Mr. Papple, he is a math and science teacher at a local high school, and Amy is now an assistant director at a daycare for a church. I've been trying to help just with general maintenance of the house. I come by, I've been mowing the lawn for him this summer. I planted Amy these flowers that bloom every morning for her as she's on her way to work. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about just home improvement and how-tos and how to do certain stuff. And so I'm gonna try and utilize that for this. Today I'm gonna be trying to fix the ceiling in the living room here. And I'm also going to see about fixing this section of the fence. I've looked up several YouTube tutorials on how to do it. I feel confident enough, like I know the logic of how to do it. It's just the technical knowledge versus the experience of physically doing it. So I'm sure there's gonna be somewhat of a learning curve there. I have been investing into some tools, and several patrons actually helped fund me buying the lumber and stuff for this. And I figure doing it myself will help with not having to hire people to come in and do it for us, which will balloon the expense of it exponentially. I also told Amy, I said, Amy, I've never done this before. The ceiling may end up being way worse than when I started. And she was like, Holden, it's fine. So I have her blessing. I could screw it up. That's a very real possibility, but hopefully not. I have all these tools that I bought for this, and and not just this, but for future projects. But this is a good kind of excuse for me to go ahead and buy it now so I can use it on future things. My friend Matt is going to be coming. He's going to be helping out too. We are expecting some scattered showers, and it's like the only day in the past 2 weeks that we were supposed to get rain consistently. Looks like Matt just showed up.
It's really powerful. Is it run by AA's?
Actually, it's a 20 volt. So have you ever been here?
No, I never have.
That's where I lived for a long time. Actually cleared out the living room a little bit more than I was expecting them to. You see here, this is water damage from a while back.
Oh yeah. So we're probably gonna need a 3-inch, 1/4-inch torque screw.
We have no idea what we're doing.
They're in good hands for sure.
Real talk, I figure we'll go ahead and just take all this stuff down. We'll just go ahead and start from scratch. Take all the accent woods down. And we'll get it all trashed up, and then we'll just start lining up.
Oh yeah. These are spaced out way too far apart for sure. Not the regulation 18 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
It's 16. I do know that.
What I've got here are called tongue and groove slats.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They're not quite long enough to go the full length of the ceiling, so I figure, but I got extra, and I made sure it was the correct square footage. I got like 3 or 4 extras to account for screw-ups, which I'm guessing will happen. We'll do basically the whole section, and then figure out the space that's left between the end of the slat to the wall, and we'll cut those all manually. So we'll take whatever boards are left and cut them, and then fill in. So I got these white, I don't know what they're called, accents or whatever. Just it makes the ceiling look nicer to replace those other white ones. And the seam that we'll get between the long piece and the short piece in the wall, we'll put one slat there so you won't tell that they're cut.
Sorry, I've fallen asleep.
No one's gonna watch this, let's be real. I wanna get rid of all this wire fence, and we'll put in a wood. Just this will be the only section that'll be wood. I might do that one later, but because this is actually falling apart, and this is the section that's actually the most used, I figure this is the immediate need to be replaced, and we'll try and put that together. Shout out to my wonderful patrons who also helped me with this. Zachary Chekaros, big help. Christian Mook, Mike Goggins, thank you so much, Mike, especially. That was a huge help. Jacob Lundbeck, huge help, thank you. Eric Cunningham, big thank you. Valerie Barber, Valerie, thank you. Jeremiah Pierce, Samuel Jaras, I hope I said that right. Thank you so much, man. Jacob Jaworski, thank you. Lucas Hodge, Lucas...
Come on.
This is from Germany. My German fan, Lucas Janowski. Thank you so much, man.
Nailed it.
Jacob Ember, Nicholas Martin, Brent Cossert. I'm gonna say Brent Croissant. I know that's not right, but it's funny to me. Thank you so much, man, I appreciate it. Anthony Daramola, Omar Yazin, thank you so much from our Arabian fans, thank you. I don't think I missed anybody, but if I did, thank you guys so much. I honestly could not do this to the level in which I'm doing it without your help. I would have still tried to scrounge up, but it's a huge help. I can't even tell you how much. So thank you all so much. Let's get to work.
I didn't know you were buying lumber. I just thought we were gonna get like sticks and random pieces of wood out of the woods.
I have a Lowe's Pro membership account now. This was about the point in time that Prime showed up, and Matt actually had to leave because of an emergency. I kid you not. So he came for that intro and then left right as we began to work. I am giving him a hard time. It was sincere, and he does come back, but I give him a hard time for that. Matt had to leave for a little bit. Prime's here, and we've been making some progress. We had to run to Lowe's to get some insulation because this insulation here has some water damage. So we're only going to be replacing these two here. We're going to be removing these like sideways beams. It looks like they're just to hold in the insulation. The beams that we're going to replace it with should act as both support and decoration. So it should be good there. As you can see, it's getting kind of messy in here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Even though there was water damage on the insulation, the roof itself had been repaired in the past. The insulation just hadn't been replaced yet.
A lot of this is tarring though.
Really?
It's the tar stick. This is tar stick.
OSHA approved.
Yeah.
Yes. Nailed it.
We're not union. The end of the first day. It's been 8 hours and we have not accomplished as much as we wanted to, but
We made a lot of headway.
we're getting there.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
We're here on day 2. Matt's already complaining.
Yeah,
He came prepared today though.
I'm tired of being at this job site and ready to get it done. These are my tools, so I'm taking them with me. Why is he automatically a country dude?
I don't know.
Backup batteries
Nice. Oh, you really did come prepared.
and a purse. Let's do it.
So I've been thinking, I think we need to maybe change strategy a little bit. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why. So these are like 12-inch boards that we're trying to get in all at once. Well, it's really not necessary because we're going to be installing that trim down the ceiling because we were having trouble getting everything to fit in right, and it's only going to get worse because we're going at an incline, which means we're going to get less leverage the higher up we get. We're going to be like, maybe we can figure out where we want to place the trim, cut the boards into smaller sections so that you're trying to get in just a smaller piece of wood to fit instead of this long piece that you have to have like 2-3 guys to try to go at once. And then the seam will cover with the trim. It'll be a little bit more tedious because we'll be cutting more wood. Third reason I was thinking, because inadvertently, what if the ceiling gets another leak down the line, like in another hurricane or something? Because that's how that happened at a hurricane. We're installing these long slats. Any type of repair that will need to be done will be much more tedious instead of us doing like smaller rows. Like this is gonna have to be a row regardless. We would measure out and cut there so that way, you know, you and me are trying to fit in just this section of slat instead of the whole thing. Because we've had times like where that'll fit, but that won't. And we're like struggling, that'll go in, this will pop out. It might just be easier. Does that make sense though? Do you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. We figured out a plan finally when we were finishing up when we left here, and let's change it.
Well, the plan was to get these to lock, and everything would just work perfectly. But given that we're having difficulty with even 3 guys, now it's just the 2 of us. Maybe we just take our time and we basically cut these in half, and we just. You know, I think we'll have better luck, like you and me, doing a smaller slit than trying to do the whole thing. Day 2! Okay.
All right, let's get started.
We are wrapping up day 2. We weren't here nearly as long. We were here probably about 3.5 hours. We did a good portion of the rest.
I was just making it look like I was doing something.
We did decide to go ahead and cut the boards in half, but we're going to be placing trim over the seam, so you won't be able to see it. And luckily, we were able to get kind of the final piece up against the ceiling, and we'll be placing some trim in there to cover up some of the gaps. We worked less hours today than we did the first day, but I feel like we got more actual ceiling work done. We got about 6 hours today, so I'm hoping goal is to get at least that first half of the ceiling done. You think that should be? I think we will, because last time we were here about 3.5, and we got
in a groove last time.
Yeah.
We were getting in a groove.
All right, so let's get to working.
All right, let's get on it.
All right, let's get started.
All right, let's get to it.
Let's get started. So we just finished half of the ceiling. I'm really happy with the way that it's turned out. Still gonna be some touch-ups that I have to do. I still have to put some trim in to cover up some of those gaps there, but for the majority, the hard stuff is done. Big thanks to Prime for helping out as well.
Yeah.
Since we only have about 2 hours or an hour and a half left in the day, we're not gonna start the second half of the ceiling. We're gonna start tearing down this fence, trying to get the fence posts in and get the quickcrete going and drying, and then next time we come back, we'll continue on with the fence and start up the second half of the ceiling. How you doing, Matt?
Doing good. To all the men out there that's complaining that I'm using this on this.
Yeah, I literally brought out stuff for that.
Yeah, just relax, all right? Still made to cut wood.
Did you break it?
Solid. You got the receipt.
I'm gonna get my stuff together and start helping out Matt.
This is where we really ran into trouble. Matt and I were disassembling the fence, and I was pulling out any roots of bushes that were there before and decided to mow over the whole area to flatten it out some. As we were disassembling the fence, we were surprised how shallow the metal post was that was next to the house. We didn't think much of it and decided to put the new wooden post right where the old metal post used to be. As we were digging, we struck something that caused water to start gushing out of the ground. That's when our worst fear was realized.
We were digging right where the previous pole used to be. And so as we were digging, the shovel hit the water line and it just started pouring water out. And that was the first moment I was like, oh my gosh, I've really screwed this up. This is awful. To call a plumber. And I was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna do anything like this again. I think though, after the initial panic, we looked up, we dug around the pipe. We found that it's a pretty decent sized crack, but it wasn't like totally demolished. I was YouTubing tutorials how to fix cracks like that. Made a quick trip to Lowe's, spent about 60 bucks on the materials they requested. I had to leave for about an hour and a half. Matt has been working on it since, and I think we're gonna be okay. Matt's on the last portion of it right now, but the real test will be once we let this PVC cement dry, when the water comes back on, if it starts just pouring out again. I wasn't even supposed to come back. I had to work with Jen and rearrange some stuff in order to come back because I cannot leave them without water. Just straight up.
PVC cement.
So we're gonna let it dry for a bit. Fingers crossed. If this does not work, I'm not gonna play with it anymore. I'll bring in a plumber. That we might have just dodged a serious bullet here. And we added more experience to our repertoire. Now we're plumbers. Matt's unamused.
Thanks, Patreon! I'm just putting extra glue because what does it hurt?
2 hours later.
Please God, let this work.
Matt is going to turn on the water. I'm ready when you are.
Alright, it's on! It's fully on.
I think I hear the water flowing. I'm gonna run inside, see if I can turn the faucet on. Water's running.
Water's running!
No leaks! Yeah!
I feel like a real man right now.
I know, we've done great.
Well, you did nothing, but...
Well, you caused the problem.
That's true. You went and bought the materials, yes. I have such a higher appreciation for this water right now.
That's it for today. I'm gonna be checking back tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, to make sure that that is not leaking. Then after that, we'll begin day 4, which should consist of beginning the second half of the ceiling and getting these stinking posts in the ground for the fence. A couple days later, checking in on the water pipe. It has been holding well. Matt just got here.
Good morning!
I'd say to begin though, why don't we go ahead and get the posts in the ground, let them start drying in quickcrete, and then we'll begin the ceiling. And I asked Amy, she said there's nothing else along the line that she knows of.
Read my mind. You know,
Septic tank's right about where that dead grass is there.
You know shovels are actually one of the leading killers on job sites. You put that shovel in the ground, you hit some electric. Who the heck is that?
That's Jarrett coming to help.
Oh.
We got the post in for the fence now. We created the gate. I don't know if it's gonna be good or not.
Terrible!
I think it looks good for us not doing anything, having ever done this before. Some of the posts are a little close together, but that's okay. It just means it'll be more reinforced. Leaving the fence for another day. We're getting started. We're gonna remove the vents and then tear all this down. Wrapping up the end of day 4. The time lapse turned off, the battery died.
Nice.
But give you a little update with how it's coming. Fence posts in. We got the gate built, but not put in yet.
It's all wrong.
We'll be having it overlap a little bit just so we can put some pickets in there. Right now we're just tidying up.
Oh,
stabbed myself with a screw. Safety precautions are being met.
Making some good progress. If it wasn't for the vents, we might have been able to nearly finish.
He said this would take 4 hours in total, so don't listen to anything he says.
4 hours total? Without the vents, it's pretty quick. We got it done pretty quick.
Yeah. Hero's here.
A fox!
Get right, buddy.
I'm gonna spot a fox.
My only concern about this fence, though, is I think I made it a little bit longer than I would have liked. I've been thinking about this and how wide it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get it up there once I get the rest of it finished. But I think that it probably will, over time, eventually begin to sag. So if that happens, I'll probably just start from scratch and make 2 separate smaller fences. I have them kind of come together in the middle with something to kind of stop them. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it the way it is though. And if that becomes a problem later, that shouldn't be too bad. I could probably just be able to do that by myself over a little bit of time. It's been about a 2-week delay. This is around the same time that my son had RSV. Jen and I got pretty sick. We actually got behind on just regular videos anyways. So I've been feeling really bad because I've left this unfinished for 2 weeks. And at least we were further along than like when we first started. So that would have been horrible if the whole ceiling was just destroyed. And I would have had to have left it more of a mess. It's not too bad right now. I have pretty much all day to do this, and I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be able to get it done today. It's getting a little cluttered, a little cramped. Just this section. You know what? We still have to finish that portion. Really, once we get past the vent, it should just be straightforward for the rest. There's actually a little bit more than what I was expecting. And I'm gonna go ahead and get set up for when Matt gets here, which should be in about 15 minutes or so, assuming he's on time. He usually is.
Demonetized! All right, let's do this!
We're actually gonna run out of wood. Only have 2 pieces left. Now I accounted for the full square footage and us, having some screw ups, but a decent bit off. It's not a ton off, but so we're going to actually finish up what we have, see how much more we need, see if they can cut it at Lowe's, because I'm not gonna be able to transport 12-foot these beams. And we're also gonna go ahead and measure out how much trim we need. We might as well pick that up while we're there. And just a couple odds and end things. We are finished for today. We've got all the wood up there. We're trying to fix this vent. Some of it got threaded. So the end of day 5. I did want to get a little bit more done. I said we're not even going to touch the fence until we get the ceiling done. So I really want to get the ceiling finished next time, and then knock out this fence.
Horrible judge of time.
Well, I still get it done. I'm getting it done though.
I will knock this out in 4 hours.
I came here one day last week. I put a few more posts on the fence. As you can see, I was only here for a couple hours. I ended up finishing putting the other white beams on the ceiling. So today should be the last day. I'm here a little early. Matt's gonna be getting here in about an hour. The plan today is to put up the trim, the rest of the trim on the ceiling, finish the fence, and paint the door. Amy did ask if I could go ahead and paint the door, since we'll be doing a little bit of touch-up paint on the ceiling as well. I have scheduled the carpet cleaner to come out tomorrow early in the morning to clean the carpet. I don't think it's been cleaned since like the 80s or 90s, like thoroughly, like deep clean. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of a couple of these area rugs that are in there, since he'll be cleaning it, doing a thorough deep clean of the carpet tomorrow, and then that should be it. So today really should be the last day, with the exception of the carpet cleaner coming out tomorrow. Hopefully we'll wrap this one up. Went out to Lowe's before I came here. I had to get a few more brad nails. Oh, I neglected to mention, Dane and his girlfriend actually took it upon themselves to go ahead and finish painting up those little areas that were, when we took the old beams off, the old cross beams off, it left like this dark spot where it hadn't been painted. And it looks like they went ahead and did that for me, which will expedite this quite significantly.
About 28 and 3/4 inch there. That's right, 28 and 3/4 inch. I'd say it's about 68 1/4.
And Lord Almighty, I think I just saw Matt miss the turn to get in here.
According to Holden, this is the last day.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, okay, got it. Yep, it's coming out. It's out.
All right, I really feel like we're on the home stretch. We got all the trim up. We're trying now to just kind of tidy up. I actually dusted off these bookshelves, both of them, put the books back on, and we're gonna go knock out the fence real quick, and when that's done, the primer, the second coat of primer that Matt put on the door should be done. We'll paint that, and then that'll pretty much be it. Hopefully we won't hit any more water lines. Put a couple more 2x4s on the fence just to make it a bit more secure. I think we're gonna end up, or I'm gonna end up going back to Lowe's and just getting like a ton of them and just lining them down here. But for now, cannot believe that is actually holding. But I like the bigger gate though. A little wonky there, but I'm hoping that it starts to dip and then it'll line up even just perfectly. Woo! Love it when a plan comes together. And the only other thing that's kind of bumming me out is I didn't have enough of these. I need like 4, maybe 5, just probably get 5 just as an extra. And I will do that later. That's gonna be a very small thing. I just buy them, nail them in, and be done with it. I count the gate holding as a win. I was much more dreading that than like needing to finish that off.
It's been up for 5 minutes.
I will get those other hinges.
Get about 48 of them.
All right, good job. I had an early Lowe's run this morning to get those last couple of pickets for the fence. So I ran out, I got a couple more hinges, but I'm running, hopefully not too far behind, to meet up with this carpet cleaning guy. I'm supposed to meet him at 9. I got about 20 minutes, I should be okay. So right now it's just finishing up some of the smaller things. I already got most of my tools and stuff. Put some of it back at the house last night, and I have a few left in the trunk here. I'm really happy that this project is coming to an end. I absolutely underestimated how long it would take. Back on day 1, I was like, we'll knock out that ceiling and that fence today. Like, for how naive I was. I will say, in my defense, there were times where we would get into like a groove where I would be cutting wood and Matt would be putting it up, and we were just like this well-oiled machine. And that's kind of how I was thinking it was gonna go the whole time, and didn't account for, you know, why isn't this going in right? And some of the things that would just happen, like wood splitting, and why isn't this fitting in properly? We measured it like 3 times, it's not working. So it was a lot of like that kind of stuff that just overall slowed us down. Today I'm just going over there for like 2 hours. I'll be doing some of this stuff while the carpet cleaner is working, and then that'll be it. I hope these are the same pickets. Looks like they are. Matt also made a good point about these 3 being kind of loose. It might behoove us to just go ahead and link these with a piece of 2x4. Here are the other hinges I got, and then here there's just a slide bolt that'll go across. Yeah, the hallway was great.
Yeah, that checks out actually.
All right, we're all done. Dane was helping me kind of get the living room back in order. Got the TV back on. Got the ceiling looking good. Feeling a little bit more homey now. I know I'm more or less done, but I might come back and touch this up. I think the boys might do that. But if not, whenever I have just a little bit of time, I'll go ahead and touch that up, because you can still see some of that blue coming through. And then I'll have to come back and put the latch on the fence, but that's very, very small stuff. I did want to say just one more thank you to all the patrons that helped fund this. That was a huge help. It ended up being about 5 times more expensive than I was thinking it was gonna be and asked for. But that's okay, because a lot of the patrons actually donated more than I was expecting. I asked to see if maybe the boys could put that by the road to see if the trash people would come take that. If not, we might have to make a day of taking that out to the landfill. I'm going to leaf blow this entrance here. Guys, thank you so much for the support. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. It was a lot of fun. What I thought would take 1 day ended up taking 7. So huge thanks to Matt and Prime for helping me out. They were instrumental. I honestly don't know if I would have been able to do it without them. Dane was a big help, and his girlfriend Sky helped painting some of that trim. I will say that the first day when we took the ceiling down and all that either rat poop or roach poop. I don't know if we ever figured out what it was, and I just saw how dirty the floor was, and it just became like really real that, oh my gosh, I'm destroying this house. I was pretty nervous. I was like, I think I might be in over my head. Don't panic, don't even mention it. You just keep pushing through, and luckily we got it done. I think it looks pretty good, especially for amateurs who've never done anything like this. The ceiling or the fence or fixing the water. It's not bad. You learn a lot from YouTube. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you so much for supporting it and helping me get it made. For now, that is it. I'm Holden Hardman. Take care, everyone.